makes a lot of weird noises. Like
They all do.
It's just like, are you okay? Like,
He's an old Jew.
it's like, are you okay? And you're like, I'm fine. Like, all right, cool. Go back to bed. In the middle of the night, he's just.
The other night, Meyer goes.
Two Jews, both big and tall, no subject too small for the good guys. A Mother's Dream premium podcast team, make it your weekly routine. It's a Good Guys. And if you don't give us 5 stars, what are you nuts? What are you nuts? Yeah, we're the good guys, we're not the great guys. We're just so good guys. Whoa.
Benny and Joshy and Benny, they both have babies. It's so amazing. La 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 la.
Benny and Joshy, I didn't know where to cut in, so I froze. Benny and Joshy, Josh has 3 kids. How much does that cost you in childcare?
Oh, bro, I'm doing the numbers in my head and it's not looking good.
It's so expensive, and the thing is, you don't want to pay less. Like, I have these friends, they're like, dude, you have no idea how cheap my nanny is. I'm like, do you even care if your kid comes home? Like, there's a bar for how cheap a nanny should be, right? Like, you should be, of course, like anything else, we should negotiate. We should make sure that we feel good about the money that we're spending. But Josh, there is such thing as too cheap, no?
Yeah, my sister-in-law Taylor is on her 3rd nose job with the same guy because he keeps giving it to her for free.
See?
I'm like, at a certain point, hon, it's him.
Free nose jobs are what are you nuts? You need money exchanged to ensure that they're trying, right? Otherwise, they're not trying.
Yeah, there's certain things you don't want to go bargain basement on. Plastic surgery, childcare, medication. Like, it's like people that go to other countries to get their medications. Like, I know you can get lucky or super unlucky.
Totally. No, we're not getting. We can get name brands overseas for sure, because I think they're the same thing. Are they? Or are they counterfeit? Now I'm thinking about it, because people love to buy Ozempic in the Mexican airport. And it's like, is that Ozempic? Right. Or is that Ozempic?
I think it's probably, I think the airport pharmacies in Mexico are probably good, but I don't know. I got a couple inhalers in Cabo San Lucas and I was still wheezing.
You were still wheezing. You were
They
still
tasted
Carl
sweet
wheezing.
though. They
Josh,
tasted sweet. They had a nice puff to them.
I just have to say, for somebody who it's been what, 4 days?
Yes.
You look wonderful. You look wonderful. How do you feel? I'm sure much less wonderful. How do you feel?
Well, let's see. How should we start this?
I was going to say, we should also probably tell the people Josh had his 3rd child, or Paige did. And so we have just like this big, gorgeous family, so beautiful, so American, so fantastic. And I don't know why I slipped an American there. And it's just such a blessing. And to have Ruby, and I'm not going to spoil the name, you can tell the people the name, but to have Ruby and just like Ruby's friend that are the same age, that are just going to be able to like hang like once every 2 years when they cross coasts. It's just a gorgeous, beautiful thing. And I'm very excited by it. And I want to hear everything.
Rubalicious, go. Rubalicious. I don't know. I'm feeling a Fergie collab.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's so much to say. So let me see. Let's get it started. You know what? I'm going to do this not for the listeners. I'm going to do this for Olivia. She's going to get a kick. Okay? And I will tell you all that I texted Ben earlier, like over the weekend, and said, I'm going to fillet you on the podcast, and I only meet 20% of it, just so you know I love you. So Thursday, we do our last recording of the week. We move recordings because I said my wife needs to give birth a week early. The doctors want her to give birth. They're saying, we're playing with house money. We think it'd be better for you to go a week early.
Yes.
We have the wonderful Isabella Merced on. Isabella Merced. Isabella. She's wonderful. We're talking. I say, I'm having a baby tomorrow. She goes, that's great. So wonderful. Friday, Benjamin and I, we're talking.
We are.
We're yenting.
We are.
Talking about the wonderful Isabella Merced interview.
We are.
I go, all right, well, I guess we'll talk later. He goes, oh, wait, I have something to tell you. I go, this guy, he don't forget about me.
Wait, we can't share this. We can't share this.
I won't say it.
Something really good happened to me. Oh, that makes it so much funnier. I didn't even remember. Oh my God. That makes it so much funnier. I shared my good news with you.
He's like, you're never going to guess. I'm like, you're right.
Oh my God. I'm just the worst. But that said,
I forgot I was having a baby.
But once I remembered, I went into overdrive. You were probably like, stop texting me. Stop
You didn't remember. We reminded you because we sent you pictures.
You did. I completely forgot until Saturday. I completely forgot.
Forgot. And then he hit me. And finally, like, because my wife put it up on the group chat. Because I was like, I'm not actually mad, but he's not getting the cute little personal text I was going to give him. So my wife throws it up on the group chat with me and Claudia and Ben and I. And then Ben wrote me on the side and he's like, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. And I said, fine, you forgot. And to Ben's credit, he goes, I know, I'm the worst. Like,
The worst.
you didn't defend it, which I appreciate. You were just like, and you know what? In you immediately taking just like a little bit of ownership, I was like, I forgive you. It's fine.
It was terrible. I felt terrible. But then I went into overdrive. I was like, how's it going? 3 hours later. Everything good? Do you have a registry? Crickets. Okay? I'm just saying, I wanted to shop on the registry. Crickets. So then what did I do, Josh? I returned the gift.
I know. That made me laugh and also what are you nuts? It's just because it's the nature of gift giving. I gave you a $300 gift card from Amazon for the great Ruby Rubenstein
which is perfect. Diapers, A&D.
You're gonna need it all.
For me. By the way, we should start using A&D. We have crusty buttholes. I'm just saying they could be smoother.
Yes, B&J.
Yeah, I'm in. BJs and ADs.
We start our own ointment conglomerate.
Yes, the good
Solves.
ointment. The good ointment.
Yeah, the good solves.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's good. What would it be in India?
Oh my gosh. We've played this game before and it always ends with us canceled, you fuck.
It always ends up with you needing to edit something out.
I was going to start the episode with good news, Diddy's off. But I'm like, I can't have that soundbite out there. Fuck.
No, you can't. And now
We gotta have Lee Moore back.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do need to have Lee Moore. She was wonderful. She was great. But yes, okay. I returned the gift. You gave me 300. I gave you 300. What was there more to do?
I just can't believe our gifts are canceled out. No, you gave me 301, you jerk.
I did. That was nice, right?
That was good. That was well done.
It's funny. I was thinking about it. The antithesis of what we said, it was a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. We were talking about how there's nothing worse than when somebody owes you money and they short you by a penny. I'm going to now start giving people $1 extra.
Nice.
Right?
I like that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? I think you told me like Casey Neistat like owed you $80. He just sent you $100.
So cool.
That's like he has like $100 million. So he can do cool things like that, like throw 20s at friends. But
what a round number, 100. So, okay, so let me give you the play-by-play. So we have a scheduled C-section. My two other kids were C-section for 5 o'clock. Beautiful Cedars-Sinai Hospital. Cannot say enough good things about this. Honestly, the celebrity hospital. Let's not. What must we joke around? Must we dance around the fact this is an elite place.
Being the celebrity hospital, I have questions. Do they put you in a different spot based on how famous you are? Like, you know that episode of Curb where there's an ugly side of the restaurant and a handsome side of the restaurant? Like, if you're not a celebrity, do they just like put you in the basement?
No, you're with the civilians, but I will say that they do have the notorious suite where I think like, you know, some of the more like I think Kardashians and people when they're giving birth, it's about $2,500 to $3,000 a night.
Okay.
To have a big fancy suite, but inevitably it's just like the size of 2 hospital rooms, and I think you have like a nurse that is assigned just for you. So if you can do it, great.
Yeah. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Sleep Me. Folks, are you sleeping hotter than hell? Even worse, your wife loves a toasty bed, yuck, but you desperately need to stay cool, and you're waking up drenched in sweat instead? What are you, nuts? Meet Chili Pad by Sleep Me. Its mission is to elevate the quality of human life through cool sleep, whether you're whipping up something in the kitchen, being dad of the year, focusing on your fitness goals, or trying not to argue with your wife over the thermostat. Chili Pad can end your nights of poor sleep that's hotter than hell, because the Chili Pad bed cooling system was designed with dads and couples in mind. It lets you customize your sleeping environment to your personal temperature, ensuring you fall asleep faster and wake up feeling recovered. Chili Pad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely cools your bed's temperature from 55 to 115 degrees. And I know what you're thinking. What if my wife likes it at 115? She's nuts. And I like it at 55. You're also nuts. That's too cold. Well, don't worry, because you can set each side to a different temperature. This is exactly what you've been waiting for, folks. This is the exact solution to your problem. You probably broke up with a girl, or you probably broke up with a guy over the fact that you guys couldn't sleep at the same temperature. That's nuts. If one of you needs the room at 80, but the other needs the room at 60, you were not compatible until now. Chili Pad is literally saving people's relationships, folks. You should thank Sleep Me, and you should visit sleep.me/goodguys to get 20% off your Chili Pad with code GOODGUYS. This special offer is available for the Good Guys listeners only and for a limited time. Order it today with free shipping and returns. Try it out for 30 days and you can return it for free if you don't like it with their sleep trial. Visit www.sleep.me/goodguys and see why cold sleep is turning what are you sleeping hot for? What are you nuts? Into what are you nuts for not trying Chili Pad? This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Home Chef. Folks, it's summertime, baby, but instead of relaxing, are you stuck in a meal planning rut? Oh no. Cycling through the same old dinners while juggling work, family, and summer activities? Home Chef can break the monotony and free up your time with fresh, easy-to-follow meal kits, offering healthy and exciting dishes delivered right to your door, giving you more sunshine and less stress. Don't we need that, folks? Home Chef, I'm telling you, folks, is it. They deliver fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipes. And as somebody who's used Home Chef, I can tell you they are the best, folks. So good. The ingredients are top of the line. Whether you prefer classic meal kits with pre-portioned ingredients, quick 30-minute recipes, oven-ready options, microwave meals, or a dedicated family menu, Home Chef has everything you and your family need for hassle-free, delicious dinners. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. And when meal planning ends up on the back burner, check out Home Chef's new 5-ingredient meals that simplify prep with super easy recipe steps using just 5 fresh pre-portioned ingredients. So folks, for a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 50% off 50 and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life if you go to homechef.com/goodguys. That's homechef.com/goodguys for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/goodguys. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert.
So we go in. My wife's having a C-section at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock comes. She hasn't eaten for 8 hours, right? And the doctor comes in. I'll just call her Dr. K. We love her. She's the best. And delivered all my kids. And she goes in. She says, I have some bad news. There is a person who needs an emergency C-section. So we've been bumped. Be glad it's not you. and it'll be about an hour. So let them handle that. We go, of course, no problem. Hope they're okay. Thankfully, they were. 6:00 comes around. Dr. K comes in. She goes, more bad news. She goes, now one of my patients needs an emergency C-section. So I'm going to go do that. Be glad it's not you. See you in an hour.
Oy vey.
So now it's about 7:30, but again, glad it's not us. Thankful that it's not us. Thankful those people were okay. 7:30 comes. I don the suit, put on the cute little painter's overalls. I wait outside. You know me, I optimize my time no matter what. As you know, Ben, there's like a 30-minute time span when they're getting all, the nerve block in, getting your wife prepared for the surgery. I'm pacing, right?
Mm-hmm.
These people, they're so cute. These surgery techs walking by, they think I'm the nervous father. I go, guys, you think this is my first rodeo? I'm getting steps. Assholes, you think I'm nervous? They're like, don't worry, Dad. It's going to be great. Have a seat. I'm like,
you're like,
I'm
not worried. Have you seen my whoop?
Yeah, I get 1,200 steps every 10 minutes, schmuck. Like, I'm hoping it takes a little longer to find the vein in there. I couldn't work out today. So I got 4,000 steps in between Paige getting prepared for her C-section. Oh, it was spectacular.
That's
My
great.
strides.
Nice
so then
and deep.
I go in, and it's really a ballet, as you can attest, Ben, when you go in there. I mean, did your doctor who operated on Claudia, did he have another doctor assist him?
Yes, he did. And it's, you need to. I don't think, C-sections it's not one person ever doing a C-section, is it?
I would imagine in some scenarios it is, but I think it's much safer and efficient to have two doctors because, I think the big fear is controlling any bleeds that could occur.
Totally. This is wild surgery. They're ripping out all your organs, putting you back together. It's full Frankenstein. So yeah, we had two doctors. And
then you have the two doctors, and you have the surgery techs and the people who are helping there. Then you have the anesthesiologist. We had like a resident and an attending. And then you have two people just waiting for the baby.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And they're on baby duty. So we're there, and they're, and it's exciting, right? And everyone's hyped in the room because we don't know the sex. And so they're like, you don't know? We can't wait to find out. And I'm like, I know, don't ruin it. Hey, I'm the dad. I get to do it.
By the way, you knew.
Did I know?
I knew.
You didn't know.
I told you. You can look back in our texts. Nobody has two boys and then a girl. These boys come in threes. These boys come in fives. Once you start rolling, you could have 10 boys.
Can you imagine 10 boys?
Poor Paige.
Or Lucky Paige. She's the queen.
Or Lucky Paige. She's the freaking queen. So true. Poor dad. Who needs dad when you have 10 other boys that are all younger? They're all more
strapping,
ripped.
less gynecomastia than their dad. Maybe not shy. Sorry, bud. Got that me.
Oh, he's so cute.
You forget that we're going to, our kids are going to listen back to this shit and we will have embarrassed them.
No, they're going to love it. They're going to love it because we love them. We champion them. They are our princes. We went to King Cullen today, not to go completely off topic, but it's like a grocery store in the Hamptons. And Claudia said that I am King Cullen and Ruby is Prince Cullen. And I just thought that was really touching. The king and prince of the grocery store.
What are the prices like at a Hamptons grocery store?
Wonderful. Like
same as anywhere?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it depends on the type of grocery store, but you have your King Cullens and your Stop and Shops, and those are just normal prices. Very normal. And then you have your Citarellas. And Citarella is, so expensive. But it's an experience, Josh. This is like Erewhon, if Erewhon specialized in like fish, like fresh fish and like meats and like all, it's a gorgeous store. So you don't mind paying more because it's a gorgeous store. You can get like tuna off the boat. I don't want ShopRite tuna. What are you, nuts? Like getting a big eye tuna from ShopRite? I don't want to see a sale tag on a piece of fish.
Not good.
No. But I digress. Continue. You're talking about the birth. No good. No good. No good. We'll circle back.
So they open her up, they're doing the thing, and then the baby comes out and they pull down the curtain. They go, "What is it, Dad?" I go, "It's a boy." I'm like, oh my God, 3 boys. And then you want to hear something scary and crazy.
Yes. Well, no, but yes.
My son, Meyer, little Meyer Lemon.
Unbelievable name. So good. Meyer and Reuben, are you kidding me? They're going to fight organized crime.
They're going to do organized crime.
Sorry, they're going to do organized crime. I didn't mean to say that they would be cops. They're going to be mobsters.
They're going to fight it or do it. They'll either be twin district attorneys or twin mobsters.
I see them doing it, feeling guilty, and then fighting it, which is the exact plot of Emilia Perez.
Yes, they're going to be trans.
The Jewish Emilia Perez. That's what it is. All of a sudden, they just start speaking Hebrew in the middle, but they can't speak it. It's like,
who's gonna be our Selena Gomez though? Natalie Portman.
Yeah, totally.
So what's crazy is that Meyer's umbilical cord in a full knot. In a knot. Isn't that crazy? A perfect knot. A sailor's knot.
How do you even do that? That means he like swam through it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's sick. You got to get him in the water. He's a Phelps.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I find myself doing that. I'm sure you do it too. Like Ruby like holds his head up and I'm like, that is so advanced for 6 weeks.
Totally.
I'm just like nonstop. You tell me that your son in the womb made a knot with his umbilical cord, and I'm already like, he's an Olympic swimmer.
But can you imagine the Jewish father, how unbelievably embarrassed he would be if like somehow one day he was in the Olympics and they interview me? They're like, "Did you know at a young age?" I go, "Actually, when he was born," I'd be like, "Fuck, Dad, shut up." At Cedar Sinai.
We know.
That's so funny. No, right now I'm in that point within the first week where like, you know, babies' eyes roll in the back of their head a lot, or like they'll go cross-eyed, and there is a part of me that goes, "See, we pushed it with 3." I go, you know, we had 2 healthy, smart boys.
He's fine. He's great. Don't even put it out there. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Ruby makes a lot of weird noises. Like it's
they
just
all
like,
do.
It's just like, are you okay? Like, are you like he's?
He's an old Jew.
It's like, are you okay? And you're like, I'm fine. Like, all right, cool. Go back to bed.
He's
like,
hacking
just
up
like
Dr. Brown's.
In the middle of the night, he's just.
The other night, Meyer goes.
The noises are crazy. They're really scary, and you just have to like. You could freak out at all of them. You just have to, I guess, remind yourself that this is normal, totally normal, especially for C-section babies. They have a lot of stuff to clear, is what I've been told. That like when you go through the birth canal, you naturally clear a lot of stuff.
Well, because you get squeezed.
Exactly. But no, they weren't squeezed, so they just got like all this junk in their sinuses.
It's unbelievable. And so then when the baby comes and they're like doing the whole thing and it's so wonderful. At this point now, I'm yenting with the anesthesiologist. You know, we're taking a lap, you know, a winner's lap. Paige, by the way, is like, I'm still being closed up here. I'm like, Paige, stop it. We did it. Don't be negative. The anesthesiologist is from Long Island. I'm like, This is, oh my gosh, we are just chat. She's like, I don't think I ever want to have kids. I'm like, weird thing to say in the middle of this. But she was awesome. The whole team, everyone at the hospital could not have been better. And so like, I'm like starting to like be, you know, I'm like helping Paige. Like they were like, oh, we need to get another person to transfer Paige onto the bed. And I was like, another person? I watched The Pit, you know, bring me in. So I'm like transferring Paige. We're all yenting. And at one point I totally code switched in the operating room. I look at Paige's scar, which her Dr. K, you know, just closed beautifully. And I turn and I go, nice close, Dr. K. literally looked at me and went,
You and Claudia are the same. I overheard her talking to her friend who also is having a baby, and she was in the hospital. And Claudia said, "How is triage?" I'm like, "Are you okay?" Or she's like, "Oh, you're in triage, right?" Like they were FaceTiming. I'm like, "You can't use that term."
that is so good.
Nice clothes, Dr. K. That's rich.
I'm
That's
so
rich.
glad she didn't give me an inch. She was like, "Get out of here, brother." And I'm like, "You're right."
It's funny.
But thank God she was okay. Little baby Meyer, 7 pounds, 7 ounces. Our
Beautiful.
perfect little boy chick.
Wow, 7'7". That's great. He should go to Vegas.
I
Love
know.
that. Wow. Wait,
Better than 11-11. If we're
Totally.
going craps numbers.
better for Paige for sure.
Oh my God.
11-11, my God. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Bachelor in Paradise. Bachelor Nation fans have been anxiously awaiting the highly anticipated season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise, and the beach is finally back open. Jesse Palmer will be returning as our beloved host, and everyone's favorite bartender, Wells Adams, is back to mix up some cocktails and dole out some advice. Also joining our staff this season is former Bachelorette Hannah Brown, who will be making her debut as the head of Paradise Relations, where she'll help plan special experiences for our romantic hopefuls. And we're shaking things up even more as our young singles are joined by Golden Bachelor and Bachelorette alumni crashing the beach. That's right, both bold and gold singles will shoot their shot at love this season. And it's all taking place in a new tropical oasis, Costa Rica. With new compatibility challenges along the way that are certain to test even the strongest of connections, this season proves that only those willing to pay the price will find true love in paradise. But even with all the new elements at play, audiences are sure to find comfort in what they know and love. The return of exciting fan favorites, steamy romances, and explosive drama. Because finding love in the sun always comes with a little bit of shade. Catch new episodes of Bachelor in Paradise Monday at 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream next day on Hulu. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Function. Folks, we chose Function at the Good Guys podcast because it's the only health platform that gives you access to the kind of data most people never see and the insights that actually take action. Inside Function, you can test over 160 biomarkers from heart and hormones to toxins, inflammation, and stress. You can also access multi-region MRI and CT scans, all tracked in one secure place over time. It's a near 360 view to see what's happening in your body. That's why top health leaders like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Jeremy London are all behind Function Health. You guys know that I'm always worried about what's going on with my body. I'm always looking for the next supplement. Well, folks, I used Function to be able to tell me exactly what supplements I need. No more taking oil of oregano just because I feel like it or because I saw a TikTok about it. I'm taking charge of my health, and you should as well. I'm telling you, folks, if you're low in vitamin D, I don't know, they can tell you. Maybe zinc, iron, vitamin A. Maybe you have a testosterone problem. Maybe your glucose and insulin levels are too high. You won't know until you get it checked out, and I'm telling you, this is the place to do that. So, folks, Function is offering 160 plus lab tests for $365 to anyone who signs up between July 7th and July 11th. To learn more and get started, visit functionhealth.com/goodguys. That's functionhealth.com/goodguys today. That's functionhealth.com/goodguys. Okay, so beautiful baby boy, Meyer comes, Meyer Peck, and then what happens? Because you know, I had a lot to say after the birth. We had the nurses, we had all this stuff. How is the room? How is your experience? And then I have something to say to the nurses. But continue.
Oh boy. Well, I will. Look, I'll say this again with the steps. And I did this because, and I told Paige this, and people might have opinions, so be it. I was like, Paige, if we have kids at home, which I would like to see just because this is a big, obviously my in-laws who are the greatest on earth, and my brother-in-law, sister-in-laws, like they just are so helpful and amazing. But it's a big adjustment for 2 kids who are already here. So I just wanted to try to be there every day, at least for an hour, to reassure them that like this is only going to be great, although temporarily a little bit odd and new and different. And so I told Paige from jump, I'm like, I've stayed in the hospital with you 2 times now, and there's no bed, there's no cot, which is fine. I'm like, if you allow me to go home for 5 hours and see the kids and go to sleep at home, I will give you an amazing 19 hours. I said, if you want 24 hours from me, you'll get it, but they'll all kind of suck because I'll be a zombie.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, of course. She couldn't have been better about it. And my sister-in-law, Taylor, came and covered me during those times where I would just run home, go to sleep, see the boys, kiss them, and come back. So I'm walking the halls all day because I'm there all day, right? I'm like, Paige, you sleep. This noisy baby, he's going for a stroll. I'm strolling the postpartum wing all day. I know that I annoyed the nurses at a certain point. They're like, this baby gets a lot of walks. I'm like, you better believe it, hon. I said I would take him down to the cafeteria if the alarm wouldn't go off. Okay.
Is there anything better than that bassinet that rolls? It's so convenient. I love it.
I mean, okay, June 28th, the day after we gave birth, I'm clocking in at 18,735 steps. Sunday, I'm at 23,000.
Wow.
I was like, let Paige sleep. I'll walk him around. I became besties with the nurses. Paige also put together like a bunch of Element packs, a bunch of pens, a bunch of energy drinks, like things that nurses like. So
Very lovely.
For the delivery nurses, the postpartum nurses, she was giving them little care packages. I got Element salts coming out my yin yang. I was happy to clear them out of the house, but it was also generous.
By the way, shout out Element. You're amazing.
Amazing.
You gift too much.
It's too much.
You gift too much. My sister is fully stocked. My parents are fully stocked. I think I get 100 Element packs once a week.
It's the Jewish grandmother strategy, I think.
Oh yeah. But shout out Element. Their stuff is great. I drink it every day. I must say very quickly, I was told by Josh, I don't read comments. I don't check any of this stuff. I don't do it because it gives me agita. But I heard that we got a couple of nurses that said, Ben, what are you, nuts? We're not pill pushers. Okay. So what I would like to quickly address and say is that I did not mean to call you pill pushers. Right? When we were in the hospital, we did find that narcotics were being pushed more than we thought they should be. And I would like to revise my statement to say that I think that the pharmaceutical companies perhaps are advising that somebody push narcotics. It's not the nurses. Don't shoot the messenger. Totally get it. And I also now understand that you can't legally give Advil before the time is up. So if somebody's in pain, you try and help them out. So I would like to apologize to the nurses. I absolutely love you all. If you could have seen me in that hospital, I love nurses. I love nurses. I love them so much that I went outside naked. I gave you all a show. I love nurses. But I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings.
Nurses are the greatest.
They're the best.
Nurses are the greatest people ever.
Wait, was that a nice apology?
It was. I think that was a very nice thing to say. And okay. I want to say thank you to you because you and your stories from postpartum with your lovely wife, Claudia, were the topic of conversation with Paige and I and the nurses at Cedars-Sinai. I said, you're never going to guess what my friend did.
In my defense, the way that you described it, you said, you're like, Paige, I can either give you 24 hours or 19 great ones. And I can't sleep. The hospital was the equivalent of an airplane. I can't sleep in places like that. So for the first 2 days, I didn't sleep. So when I was doing this, like I slept a combined 3 hours and 48 hours. I was completely delusional. Like sure. I had no sleep. I don't know. Would I have done anything different though? Like maybe that's just the real me coming out in that time. I would have thought about it more. I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, no problem. Like it's not anything they haven't seen. And it's like, actually, it is something they haven't seen.
100%.
They've never seen it.
Dude, when I was like, so he went out in his underwear. They go, in his underwear.
Maybe
they loved it. They loved it.
It makes it a little bit better that I wear black briefs. Imagine I went out in like white tighty whities.
Not good.
By the way, white underwear. What are you, nuts? Like, that is just like asking for shit stains. Sorry for the graphic, but it's too much. One fart, you're done.
Oh, I wouldn't go near it. I would probably go commando before I wore white underwear.
Disgusting. Yuck.
Did you have a commando phase?
No, too fat.
Too fat for commando.
Fat people can't go commando for two reasons. Number one, most importantly, the chub rub. Imagine me commando in jeans. I'd be bleeding commando in jeans. Two, you know the trick that I love to do. You do a similar trick. You hike up your undies. Undies are essentially a girdle, okay? They're a girdle. Without them, I'm muffin topping. It doesn't matter how much weight I lost. I'm muffin topping. So no, never had a commando phase. Ever.
I did, and I think I thought I was super cool.
But you did it when you were skinny.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, see? This is privilege. This is thin privilege.
Does
I've never been skinny enough for it. Like, it's thin privilege.
Not asking about you, Olivia. That would be wildly inappropriate.
Thank you.
But is there like, because okay, hear me out.
I'm here. I'm listening.
I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna say it about my wife. Like, my wife wears thong underwear, right? And so it's not like already it's pretty minimal. So if she went to commando, I'd be like, yeah, that tracks. You know what I mean? So like, is there a massive difference between commando and wearing like a pretty like skimpy undergarment? Shut up, Ben.
I think in denim, like Ben said, in denim, no shot. I think that there is a difference, but I do know people who go commando and they swear by it. Apparently they think it's better for your nether regions. I cannot say I am one of those people. But the chafing can happen if it's like a harsh fabric and there's nothing. So even if it's like a skimpy thing, like imagine a denim, like the seam.
Oof.
Yeah. So
No good.
I think there's a pretty solid difference there.
Oof.
Yeah, but then now that I'm thinking about it, the difference is a penis. Like, you need to hold in the junk. Like, I think it's very different for men and women. I'm not saying that women can, like, I would actually think that women can go commando easier. I would think so.
Well, are there certain, like, I don't think there's a single piece of men's clothing that requires you to. I feel like there's some women's clothing where you kind of have to.
Yes.
A dress,
yes.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, I
Like
don't know. I mean, it's more proper, of course, with the dress, but I feel like that's one of the easier ones to get away with sometimes. Or sometimes if it's something that's like fitted and you don't want lines, like that's a thing too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I'm not totally sure about that.
How do we get here?
Let's get far away.
I tried my best.
But oh my gosh, can you imagine like what women have to do is incredible. Like having to sit bare butt on sequins? No thanks.
No
like
good.
it's like sitting on Legos.
Terrible. Imagine going to a
Genuinely.
movie theater in a sundress and you just have your ass right on the movie theater seat.
The dress, you put it under your butt. You put it
Yeah,
under
how
your
short
butt.
is this dress, Ben?
I don't know.
You talking to a lot of floozies, I see.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Little Spoon. As a parent, we never want to sacrifice quality for convenience. I can't believe I'm a parent. I can say that. Yet so many baby and kids food options today just don't meet the mark. That's why I love Little Spoon. They deliver healthy, ready-to-eat meals and snacks that your baby, toddler, or big kid will love and that you can actually feel good about. All of their products are junk-free, organic where it counts, and thoughtfully sourced. They really know what parents want today and make it so easy. Plus, they are the first baby and toddler food company to set strict publicly available standards for heavy metals, pesticides, and more in their food. We don't want any of that crap. Peace of mind every parent deserves. An easier mealtime without sacrificing on quality. Folks, Little Spoon is a one-stop shop for healthy, easy mealtime and snacking for your baby, toddler, and big kid. We're talking baby blends, which are certified organic. We're talking puffs made with 6 organic ingredients. These meltable baby puffs are tiny tools for tiny hands. Maybe biteables, which is transitioning to early finger food. plates for the bigger kids, smoothies, lunchers, snacks, you name it. You can find it all on Little Spoon. And folks, I tried all of them with my nieces and nephews. My Ruby's a little bit too young, and I loved all of it. The kids are absolutely obsessed too. It's all so fresh, so delicious, and made with the cleanest, highest quality ingredients. Did I mention it all comes right to my door? So flexible, so easy, and everything stores right in the fridge and freezer. I pick the menu and change up what I order every time. The price is right, the quality is unmatched. I love it. My nieces and nephews will love it. The grandparents love it. A huge win-win-win for my family, and it can be for yours too. So folks, simplify your kiddos' mealtime with 30% off your first order by going to littlespoon.com/goodguys and entering our code goodguys at checkout to get 30% off your first Little Spoon order. That's littlespoon.com/goodguys. Thank you, Little Spoon, for sponsoring this episode. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at OpenPhone. Folks, if you're running a business, every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a plumbing emergency. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait or call the next one on the list? Of course you moved on. With OpenPhone, you'll never miss an opportunity to connect with your customers again, because OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that streamlines and scales your customer communications. It works through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying 2 phones or using a landline. With OpenPhone, your team can share one number and collaborate on customer calls and texts like a shared inbox. That way, any teammate can pick up right where the last person left off, keeping response times faster than ever. Plus, with AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, you'll be able to automate follow-ups, ensuring you'll never miss a customer interaction again. So whether you're a one-person operation drowning in calls and texts, been there, or have a large team that needs better collaboration tools, OpenPhone is an absolute no-brainer. See why over 50,000 businesses trust OpenPhone to manage their business's calls and texts. So folks, what more do you need to hear? Right now, OpenPhone is offering my listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/goodguys. That's OpenPhone.com/goodguys. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Okay, so you're in the hospital, Cedars-Sinai. It's unbelievable. C-section.
Unbelievable. Nurses,
great,
everyone.
hard, but everything is fantastic. When did you go home?
We went home Monday. So basically by like 10 o'clock at night, Paige was in her room and on Friday night. And then she could have gone home maybe Sunday night. But as I told you, our boy Meyer had a little bit of the jaundice. So they were like, why don't we have him stay one extra day just so we can make sure he doesn't need to go under the lights like our boy RFK. Already my boy got his priorities in order. You know what I'm saying? And then Monday he was cleared and we went home.
I have 2 follow-up questions. One, how unbelievable is it to be in your own bed after that experience with your son?
It's the best.
You're just like, at least me, I was just equally overjoyed that I had a son that I had a son not in the hospital. Like the fact that I was just home and there wasn't anybody bothering me and there weren't blood pressure checks every 4 hours and Claudia could relax and be in an actual bed. No matter how great the hospital is, you're still in a hospital bed. Sleeping in a hospital bed is no fun. So we loved being home. And how is Paige doing? How is she feeling?
She's doing great. Thank you. I mean, you know, again, it's like, it's different when you have 2 other kids running around and she's recovering, as Claudia knows, but it's, she's amazing. She's beyond. I can't really get over it.
It's just such a crazy process. I can't speak I can't speak to any of it, but I'm going to try. The idea of people thinking that C-sections are an easy way out, these are really dumb people. Because I've heard that before. And like neither of our wives had C-sections because they wanted to, but there are plenty of people that opt for that. And this is major surgery, and this is a really grueling, scary process. And so just like in general, just like, I mean, shout out women in general, but women that have C-sections, I feel like sometimes they're like discounted, that like they didn't go through the whole like real thing. And it's like, no, not only was it real, it seems like way harder. I don't know.
I think every version of it, and Olivia, feel free to like jump in here if you have friends or people in your experience. Like, for me, I think every birthing strategy, the way you want to do it, is perfect for you. Like,
Yeah.
and it's great. You want to do a home birth, you want to do it in the pool, you want to do it naturally, you want to have an epidural, you need to have a C-section. Whatever it is, like whatever's right for you and the people that you love and trust is great.
Sorry,
And my only,
in the pool? What are you, nuts? Enough of this water birthing in your house. You're just asking for things to go wrong. Go to a hospital. Continue.
well, I as a Jewish father worry about what could go bad because I've
Totally.
seen it.
Yeah.
Like we did Friday night.
Yeah.
Like how quickly it turned for two women before Paige, and thank God they were in the perfect place to be attended to. So that's it. But obviously, in a perfect scenario,
Of course.
doing it that way, I could totally understand, and respect the benefits of it.
But who can plan for perfect? Like this
Sure.
this is a crazy thing to me. I have granted they're not Jewish, so I guess they don't have this like I guess it's just is it Jewish guilt? I don't know what it is that we are so BH until the baby comes. But we have friends who named their baby publicly. It's month 5.
Sure.
They named their baby. They're like in the middle of the second trimester. It's just like I pray to God every day that everything continues perfectly. But like things happen, and it's just I don't know. It like gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's so I much prefer to plan for the worst, and have the best, because planning for the best and having the worst.
Is the Jewish way.
Then you're left in the bath with no doctor. Like whatever.
It's an interesting thing because I think Paige and I are like done having kids, and with Shy we were on the fence, and so in feeling a finality to it, I feel extremely present, and I was like, I didn't take any of it for granted. Like even leaving the postpartum ward, like the nurses were joking because they don't know about our private conversations, but the nurses were like, see you in 2 years. Like, see you in 2 years. I'm like, no, you won't. I'm like,
You're like over
Dad's
my
working
dead
on-
body.
I'm like, that's going to be a series regular on something and unavailable.
Yeah, you are.
No, I just like, and so I really,
3 is a beautiful number. It really is. If you choose to have more, I'll say that 4 is a beautiful number too. But really, 3 is a beautiful number. I think it's a full car. It's a full car.
really full.
Yeah, honestly, it's actually a tough number because
Cadillac Escalade IQ full. Shout out.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, y'all?
You're gonna need a big car.
We're gonna need to go up.
You're gonna need the X7.
You got the X7? I might need a Cadillac Escalade IQ with over 450 miles of range from one charge. That's Los Angeles to Redding, California.
You're gonna need a bus
and a quarter of the way back. With its third row seating and 37-inch screen. No, I'm kidding.
You know what you really need? My sister-in-law Olivia and her husband Zach, who you've met, they have a Jeep Wagoneer. And by the way, they're incredibly dramatic because they only have 2 kids. This fits 40 people.
That's huge. It's a bus.
It's a bus. It makes the Escalade IQ look small. It's enormous.
Wild.
Yeah, but like you really feel, you're like, oh, I could go up 100 pounds and still fit comfortably in this seat, which is what you want out of a car.
Yeah, I like everything to be ready for if I completely go backwards and put on a quick 100.
Do you have a shirt if you go up a quick 100, or you threw it all away?
It was 22 years ago.
I have clothing. I have clothing from 20 yes ago.
Like what?
I have t-shirts. Granted, I've stayed the same, like not the same weight, but I'm probably I'm probably 30 pounds lighter than I was at 16.
And
like,
what's that
20-year-old
shirt?
I don't know. I have like Knicks t-shirts that I'll wear. I have like random, like they're now soft. Like I have, what do I have? I probably have, at this point, they're 12 years old. I have like 12-year-old button downs. I don't know why, but I do. I
Sure.
like, it's funny. I have like maybe 2 of them, and some of them are smaller. Like when I was 21 or 22, I was my lowest. I was like 209 for a minute, and like a medium or a medium to large, and like a 32 jean. I have a singular pair of 32 jeans. Why? I don't know. But
Wow, you throwing that 209-pound dick around, you at 22, I would like to see that bend.
that was literally the day I met my wife, and I was scooped.
That was it.
That was it. I hit 209 for a minute, got her done. and then a year later, she's like, "Who is this fat bastard?"
I met Claudia and I went to Gray's Papaya.
Right after I celebrated hitting my low with 19 hot dogs.
Babe, when I met you, I gave up. I'm thinking, okay, this is how I imagine it. You're wearing a Ralph Lauren pale pink button-up shirt, maybe half a collar pop.
Have you seen the picture?
You're in some kind of chino and a loafer. You're walking the mean streets of New York. You're buying people shots. You're ripping cigs. You're doing that. You're doing that booger sugar. You're building your credit.
Boog shug. Boog shug. And I'm a svelte
man.
209. My jaw.
Unreal.
So good.
You're
So
starting to
good.
think about maybe other improvements that you're going to do that inevitably you didn't do, but you thought about it.
1,000%.
Yeah. I almost got full jaw surgery at 29. I regret it.
Okay. You regret not getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you do it now?
When and where?
Cedar Sinai and tomorrow.
I can't. I have too many children. I was on the phone with my friend, shout out Bob, who's 83 years old, who said to me, "Is your wife working this morning?" I said, "She's got 3 children, Bob." I said, "That's her job. That's what she's working on, brother. No, she's not doing Photoshop for an asshole. She's raising life, Bob." Should we get to a speak pipe?
Yeah.
All right. If you want to leave us a message, get advice from us, go to speakpipe.com/goodguys. Keep it brief. Brevity is the key. Let's go to single NJG.
Hey, good guys, Moron here. I am in desperate need of some dating advice. I just
Good
graduated
luck.
college and will admit I've never been in any type of relationship, so I'm not really sure what to do here. I've been on some dating apps, but every time I meet up with someone, it's either really awkward and just not the person I'm looking for, or I'm totally catfished and they're nothing like their profile. I live in a small town, so I kind of already know everyone here and don't really see a future with any of the guys that I know from my town. I'm an NJG looking for an NJB. If you have any advice or stories from how you met your wives, or any friends you know who were able to put a ring on it in a natural way, please let me know. Otherwise, I just have to leave it up to Hashem and his plans, and I don't know how much longer I can wait for that to happen. Thanks.
For our non-Jewish listeners, NJB is nice Jewish girl, and she's looking for an NJB, nice Jewish boy. What I will say is, you said that nobody in your town, like, you know all the single guys, right? And you don't like any of them. You said that you're 23 and you've never been in a relationship. And clearly, and which normally wouldn't mean anything to me, but it's very clear that you've wanted one for some time. And Josh, let me know what you think of this, but it seems to me like perhaps she should give those other guys a chance just to see if maybe she, not to say that her standards are too high, but I think she needs to change them. Like, I think maybe she's going into it expecting everything to look exactly as she has it in her mind on day one, when I have to tell you, people change drastically after a date, 2 dates, 3 dates. Like, I would get to know someone and see if they change. Like sometimes guys are super nervous on the first date, right? And they're really stiff. Or sometimes they're really nervous and they drink and they're too loose. Sometimes they say things that they think will impress you and they're a turn off to you. And sometimes it's the total opposite. And like I find that too often girls, like every girl that I know is like, oh, I can't meet anyone. And I'm like, oh, what about this guy? And they're like, oh, I don't like him. And I'm like, okay, but I know him and he's awesome. So if you're asking me to set you up with somebody, why don't you give somebody that I think is great a legitimate chance? So that's all to say. I'm not saying that you have to date like your town people, but like ask a friend to set you up and go on a date and go on another date, even if you didn't love the first date. Of course, if he's a creep, get him out of there. But if you didn't love it, go on a second date. Like just see if he changes. And if he doesn't change, okay, you can set him free. But I think that like when people are in predicaments like this, they don't give guys enough of a shot.
What do you think, Olivia? And is 23 to me seems a little late to have never had a relationship.
I would agree, considering that it's like you've been through college at that point, it sounds like, and high school, but everybody has like a different timing for things. Perhaps she's like gone on dates with people or had like situationships. I've seen that with my generation a little bit more, where somebody maybe hasn't been in a proper relationship per se, but have kind of been doing a dance with one person for a year or so in college or whatever it might be. So I think Ben's point about like just kind of testing the waters and giving people a chance. And also, since you haven't necessarily like been in a relationship in that way, maybe just like kind of putting yourself out there, trying something a little different, find what you like and don't like if you haven't done that already. And I think too, like leaning on your friends and meeting friends of friends and like people who you know have like a good heart. I think that's a good direction to get started in. Or if your hometown really doesn't have that kind of prospect for you and you're interested in going somewhere else, you could try that too. You know, I don't know if you're interested in moving anywhere. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the whole ordeal.
I agree. And I also would I would probably expand your net. I understand if a nice Jewish boy is a deal breaker for you, like that's a prerequisite, no problem. But I would bet you're probably picky in other ways you don't realize. That maybe widening the search a bit would be great. And I would say this: whenever anything is, whenever I find for myself that there's a self-centered energy to it, which means like something's transactional, I believe that I should be getting something for what I'm doing. Is usually when I'm disappointed. And there's so much to be gained from dating and meeting people, even if the end result is you don't meet your special someone. And I've met plenty of people where the energy they've given off, or I've been like, oh, like they have an awkward energy. Like in my head, I go like, because I'll feel the vibe is off and I'll be like, is it me or is it them? And then I realize I'm a fucking fun hang. But like I say,
it's them.
It's usually them, right? Only
Yeah.
because some people are happily disagreeable. They don't feel that no father, child actor need to be loved, but I do, and it's a working. Keep listening, subscribe. But so I love to like have a great time with people and entertain them and win them over. And if I feel that energy is off, I don't immediately relegate them to be like, ugh. Like I go like, what can I learn from this person? What can I get from what feels slightly awkward? Instead of being repulsed and turned off and running away from awkward, run towards awkward. Learn from all of it. You're going to meet people. Some of the people might suck, but for the most part, even if they don't turn out to be like your forever person, you're going to learn about someone's story. You're going to learn about something from another walk of life. And that's all going to help you because we're all humans, and every new story we have is sort of new ammo for getting through life. So I would just try to let go of the transactional nature of like, this is what I need, and if you can't give it to me, this was a waste of time.
I completely agree. I would also put less stock in looks. I've
been saying that from jump.
I would put less stock in looks because if anybody's ever truly been in love, you see things like Shallow Hal is real. It's totally real. I've mentioned this on the podcast before, and I'm going to compare your relationship to the relationship that I had with my now dead dog. But I would literally walk around telling everybody that I had the most gorgeous dog in the world. Like when I tell you, I would say, perfect. Oh my God, so beautiful. I look at pictures. He was a mutt. I love him more than anything. But your eyes are 1,000%. You see what you want to see when you love someone. So give them a little bit more time to fall in love with their insides. I really feel that way. I really do.
So true. And also, I lovingly would say, at 23, what are you, nuts? You don't know anything. You're too young.
Totally.
You'll have time.
You have plenty of time. Plenty of time.
You have so much time to know what you want and what you need. And you might have some bad relationships to find out what you do want.
Totally. And go for the awkward person, because he won't hurt you. Don't go for like the big mumbo jumbo. We don't need that, okay? You don't need to learn that. I'm telling you, if he has muscles and he wears a tank top, lose him.
But if he's too awkward, like he does Rubik's Cube while holding his breath, steer clear.
Sure. I would agree. I would agree. Unless you're interested in dating the chess champion of the world. Josh, maybe she wants to go on tour. Who knows?
Magnus Carlsen's a fucking smoke show, and his wife is cute.
Yeah. Magnus has a great life.
Yeah, dude, Magnus is you wish.
Legend.
I'm attracted to Magnus. Okay, do you want to do our What Are You Nuts?
Yes, I would love to.
Our What Are You Nuts moment of the week are our gripes with people, places, and things, both big and small, whatever's sticking in your craw. I'll go first. On my way here, I saw a billboard. Shout out the great Alex Cooper and all she's done with Call Her Daddy. So I guess she's got a documentary coming out. And so on the billboard, it says, Call Her Daddy. Her best story yet is her own. What are you, nuts? You've interviewed Kamala Harris. I think that's the best story. You've had like a lot of huge, amazing stories.
The whole podcast is interviewing A-list celebrities.
Yeah. Like your story is awesome, but I don't know. Yeah.
It's the best.
But shout out. No shade. Amazing. Respect to you. Amazing.
My What Are You Nuts moment might get us canceled.
Oh, no.
But I'm going to say it anyway.
I have 3 kids.
Okay. My What Are You Nuts moment, I go into a coffee shop, Josh, okay? And I ordered my coffee. It was wonderful. Great coffee, okay? Great coffee. Mom and pop shop. You go where you pick up the coffee. It's a small area, Josh, okay? Imagine the barista is handing you the coffee, and then there's a window right to the left. It's a narrow corridor, okay? So there's traffic in and out, but people got to keep moving. You can't just stand in front of the barista waiting for your coffee. Now, Josh, I think that when you have a really voluptuous big ass, you need to have more spatial awareness. And I think sometimes big-bootied people don't understand that their dump trucks are genuinely blocking traffic. I swear on my life, I could not get to my coffee because of this man's ass. It was the biggest, and look, if it was a woman, we would have been canceled. This was the biggest ass I've ever seen in my life. Excuse me, sir, excuse me, do you mind? He had to move down to the end so that I could get around to get my cup of coffee. What are you, nuts? If you have a big ass, just have a little bit of spatial awareness, that's all. And folks, that's our last episode. But this podcast, 5 stars. Otherwise, what are you, nuts? Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Watch us on YouTube. Share our clips. Instagram and TikTok Mondays and Thursdays, folks. We will see you next time.